galactic, swiping away your tactics, crushing you under my feet. You're a peasant, nothing to me. Turn to dust, my power and lust will hunt you to defeat. Let's swing with it. I change reality when I think. To the brink of your soul, I own it all. I'm a fiend. I'm the king of the universe. Now I'm knocking you through the dirt. Put a stop to you now. It hurts. Bow down or it will get worse. I'm the king. Battle for the universe, let's get striking. Feel the power and the force of the mightiest fighting. Energy blast, hit fast, top beams like lightning. Who can win, a new god or the hands of a titan? I'm the king. I'm the king. Yeah, hard and pride crash like when stars collide. Feel it all inside, I'm ready for your soul's demise. I'm the king.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Fan Battle Cast, where we do casts on the pitches that we did to the team. I am Rand, a jury member and technically the host of this, and with me is Lockdown, the pitcher
Hello.
of today's cast, and he is also debating for the My Little Pony characters.
Yep.
We have All Hot, who is debating for the Goobers.
The Goobers.
The Goobers. And then we have a Comet over here, my fellow
Hello.
jury member.
Yes. Hello.
So, so do we want to directly get into the debate, or do we want Lockdown to go over as to why he want to pitch this?
I think I'll go into why I did this. If I'm going to be completely honest, it was very base level. The first thought I had in my head was, a triple battle. And because, that's not something that really happens. The most we've gotten is a duo battle. And so I wanted this. But the problem is that when I thought of them, there's too many that involved small children. So I was like, okay, let's think about other trios. And then, this came up.
The power of three.
Just beat up the small children again.
Who doesn't like kicking children?
Who doesn't like kicking a two? Kick the baby!
Exactly. Honestly, you don't need much more reason to pitch a matchup than I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Esteban in the chat asks why you're still Quark, Rand.
Because
I love this image, and because I was too lazy to find one to change for this cast.
Fair enough.
Now let's get into the debate. First let's do the 60 seconds. Who would like to go first for the 60 seconds?
If you want to, you can go first since it's your pitch.
Fair enough. I think I would feel I was about to say, I think I would feel better if you went first, Allheart.
Okay, I can go first.
Wow, right there.
Okay, is it pulled up? All right.
Yeah.
All right, am I good? Just
just go.
all right. Sora, Donald, and Goofy, the greatest warriors of light in all of Disney. We have the ultimate mage, the ultimate tank, and the ultimate DPS. Between the three of them, they've done literally everything you can do across Final Fantasy and Disney, which, if you've seen Disney movies or you've played Final Fantasy, means they have done some insane shit. They have fought everything from tigers in the jungle to essentially universe-ending gods. And this is going to be a ridiculous argument, but this duck, this dog, and this boy have somehow become some of the greatest warriors in the entire universe. I hit my mic. Arguably, the entire multiverse. They are ridiculous, and they are fun to...
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2. All right. this trio of unlikely allies have come together to take on this trio of, heroes. These villains, while they started off not getting along, they certainly learned to get along in the end. With one being able to steal magic, one being able to manipulate any pony who happens to walk her way, and one that can take the form of anyone else, I think they have exactly what they need to take down this trio of light.
All right. I will going into like the actual debate of this. When I saw the matchup kind of go up in our server, I immediately tried to grab either side because I love both these series so much. So I'm so happy to be a part of this one.
Well, I'm glad to have made that happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it set up, but I have a Kingdom Hearts poster over there on that side of my room.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how do we want to? Where do we want to start with this one? Because there's a decent amount.
Let's start with the general abilities of these
Yeah.
6.
Once again, you start.
That fine by me. So, with Sora, Donald, and Goofy, you've got a decent amount of pretty varied stuff. Between Sora and Donald, you're going to see some of the same stuff when it comes to their regular magic because they pull from the same magic system. But you've got all sorts of things such as just simple fire, lightning, wind spells. You've got healing. You have shields. Sorry, something in my throat. But then you can also get to stuff like Sora's like dashing, and which I love, by the way, in Kingdom Hearts, the fact that you have to unlock rolling and dodging. It's one of those things that I get it in a gameplay sense, but it's if you think about it in like real terms, the fact that he's fighting evil shadow demons and has to wait until like level 4 to figure out how to jump to the side. It's a little ridiculous. I think right now we're gonna save like a lot of the big stuff. But between all of the Keyblade lasers and the fire and the lightning, you've also got Goofy's defensive stuff, his rushdowns. You've got them getting little buffs from stuff like Berserk, which can give, when they start getting a little low on health, can start giving them a pretty big boost to their attack stats. And between all of Sora's different Keyblades, which he has a lot of, he gets plenty of different buffs to attack, magic, health, all sorts of things. They are ridiculously varied in their abilities.
Fair enough. All right. With mine, it's pretty simple. Tirek is able to suck both the life force and magic out of opponents, which he has done to a variety of creatures. Chrysalis not only has like regular-ish magic, but can also be able to transform into different creatures and suck the love out of them. And then Cozy Glow is just kind of a kid who's able to manipulate people pretty well. Ponies.
Ponies are pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty basic until we get to the bell.
The bell.
And the bell opens a whole can of worms. Because it can do what Tirek can do, except possibly better. And with that bell, these goobers end up way more powerful. Cozy Glow becomes an alicorn, Chrysalis becomes more, and Tirek grows a decent bit.
That's fair. The bell's scary in this.
Yeah.
Well, not only the bell, but we'll get to that.
The bell tolls.
Yep,
The
the
bell
witching
tolls
bell
for
that
thee.
stole quote unquote Grogar's magic. Whether Grogar ever existed or not, we don't know.
Grogar is just the tavern guy who got upset with all the warlocks casting Eldritch Blast.
Gimme. I'm done. No. That one thing is with their abilities. Have we? Because it's been a minute since I've watched the Chrysalis parts of MLP. Have we seen her do much with her like regular magic outside of like just like laser beams?
Well, she had made the clones of the main 6,
Right.
but beyond that, yeah, her stuff is decently basic, but we know that she can do a decent amount to where she would blend in. Like she has telekinesis and like the basic stuff, but we don't know beyond that and her changeling stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm assuming for the sake of this fight, she doesn't get any changelings, right?
Of course not.
Okay.
No.
I
That would
wanted
be
to make sure.
unreasonable.
I was pretty damn sure that wasn't going to be a thing, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, the as we had agreed upon before, the only change to this fight that would make this semi non-canon is that Tirek would be at his full power as if he was in season 4, minus the alicorn stuff.
Yeah, no alicorn magic because that was. I mean, that was quick. That was little like we barely saw it.
Yeah. Whereas the other one literally gave us like the baddest ass fight scene we've ever seen.
I guess since we talking about abilities and stuff, I can talk about something that I was a little concerned about going into this that I think I have at least somewhat of a counter for.
Oh boy.
So when I took this matchup, I don't know if anyone in here remembers my reaction. The moment T-Rex magic absorption was brought up, I immediately freaked the hell out.
Yeah, you're gonna continue to do that. I hope you know that.
I was trying to figure out what could be done with that because their whole thing is magic. Now they do have continuous like regeneration of their magic, but that if it's this case where Tirek can just steal it, then what's the point? So I do have something that I think could help me out a bit here, though. So during in My Little Pony, when we first are introduced to Tirek and we see him stealing magic, he just kind of just absorbs it from everyone around him. However, if we can bring up image Tirek magic.
You're not even debating for Tirek.
Wait, why are you? Wait, what?
You have a counter, and you're
I have
talking about your opponent.
Yep, I asked him if this was okay, and he said yes.
Oh, okay.
Whenever
Okay.
Tirek absorbs magic, specifically from an alicorn or a unicorn, he seemingly cannot go just general. He goes specifically to their horn and absorbs their magic from there. Hinting to me that when it comes to beings who can produce magic like a unicorn, it can't just be generally taken. It has to be taken from that source. Which to me signals that when it comes to Goofy, he could probably just take magic. But with Sora and Donald, he would have to go directly for the Staff and Keyblade, which they can summon at will. Meaning he can't get a hold of them to take said magic.
All right. Counter argument, he could still absorb their attacks.
He could absorb their attacks. However, if you're looking through Kingdom Hearts, very few attacks are actually their power. They are summoned with magic, but it's not magical fire. It's just fire. It's not magical lightning.
Fire.
It's just lightning.
Well, how does the lightning get there?
It's summoned with magic, but it's not actually magic itself. Meaning that the attack itself could seem, from what I've seen, has no properties that Tirek could absorb outside of a few very specific ones, like potentially like the Keyblade laser stuff that Sora can do. That is likely a type of magic that if he used against Tirek could be absorbed. But also given that Tirek seemingly cannot absorb magic from those equal or greater to his power unless they willing, because when in the fight with Twilight, he had to wait until Twilight willingly gave her magic to him because they were equal in power, meaning that he would have to either overpower them or get a hold of the Keyblade and or Donald's staff, which means that with them being able to summon them back, Tirek doesn't really have something to absorb from anyone outside of Goofy, who is, of all of them, the most magic inept.
Okay. To my understanding with Keyblades, it's not, they are magic, but they're more so a conduit is the word I had seen. In essence, it allows someone who is able to wield one to, in essence, amplify their magic through using it. It's not necessary to do magic, but it does greatly amplify it. Is that correct?
I'm trying to rack my mind for this. Rand, I know you know a decent amount about Kingdom Hearts, so if what I say is wrong, please do correct me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe throughout Kingdom Hearts anyone's been able to do magic without a Keyblade. From my understanding, it is a bit more like Donald's wand, where the magic is within them. However, when they are especially with the Keyblade, it is so entwined with Sora's own being that I fully believe that it would, through the limitations of Tirek's absorption, would still require the magic. At the very least, if he wants to do it effectively, would have to come through the Keyblade.
Okay. All right, I can see that argument. I was under the understanding that it's the person's magic being channeled through the Keyblade, which would be my argument for them being able to take it directly from the source if they are able to do that. But even so, as you had stated, it requires overpowering, which we'll get into later. But at the very least, their attacks will be decently nullified given what these characters have been able to kind of go through.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only instance that comes to mind of someone using magic without a Keyblade is in Kingdom Hearts 1 when Sora gets the wooden sword.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But I believe that was answered in the Ultimata as that because Sora learned the magic, he can just awkwardly channel it through the weapon, but it's not as potent as it would be without the Keyblade.
Yeah, which was my point with Keyblades being like an amplifier in essence.
He definitely has the magic within him, and I don't think that it's impossible, because we do also see when Discord traps them, everyone on all like the main six outside of Twilight, in the cage. Tirek just absorbs it from all of them, and that does include Rarity, not from her horn. However, that was also after he had absorbed the magic from all of Equestria, and these aren't at this point in the series, they weren't exactly the most powerful, especially without the elements of harmony. So I don't know if it's fully comparable.
Well, he did absorb Discord's magic.
True, but Discord's entire being, I don't feel like there's a conduit there outside of Discord himself.
Oh, you're arguing for like conduits and stuff. Yeah, because the thing I was going into when I was looking into it is that if the magic is coming from them rather than the Keyblade, not saying that the Keyblades aren't magic, but the stuff that they use comes from it, comes from themselves, then Tirek can, in essence, bypass the Keyblade entirely, in addition to draining their life force. And then, of course, there's argument elixir, but then there's debatably that might not work either, which we'll get into.
I mean, all right. I'm stuttering.
That's all right.
I am still kind of on the side of I do think that the Keyblade and the staff would, if he wanted to absorb the magic effectively, it would require getting a hold of. I think maybe here's a better way for me to put it. I think if he wanted to do it without having to find a way to overpower Sora and Donald, he would have to get a hold of the staff and Keyblade. But then if he's able to overpower them, then he could do it without.
I see. Well, I don't know exactly what we want to get into next.
Do we just want to get into like the general stats of speed, strength, and durability?
Yeah, I'm down for that. All right.
All right. So I can go first again. So there's a decent amount of feats throughout, but a lot of them are, in the grand scheme of Kingdom Hearts, while they may look cool, they're not going to show the high ends because we can't be blowing up every single planet.
Lol.
So I can start with speed. I think that's a good place to start. So make sure I have this pulled up. Yeah, okay. So in Kingdom Hearts, one thing that we do know, or it's kind of debated, is that the worlds in Kingdom Hearts aren't just planets. Given in Kingdom Hearts 3 with Hercules world, where we see Zeus kind of move all the stars in the constellation into constellation of Sora, Donald, and Goofy. So, and those aren't just off randomly. Those are part of the Hercules world. And according to Terra, as well as a couple other places throughout the series, every single star is its own world across the entirety, even ones that obviously you never visit every single star. But if I go, I lost it. No, I had it. I'm choosing to blame Rand that I lost my place in my notes. Rand, I don't know. I'm choosing to blame you.
Fair enough.
Can you clarify what you mean by world?
So worlds are like the places you visit. So like when you go to like the deep jungle or like a Halloween town, those are their own separate worlds that are also kind of their own. I don't want to sit here and say 100% that they're their own little universes because we don't explore them like that to really know.
Well, what do we see? Is it like, are we able to observe like stars within their own little space?
Yeah, we are able to see out into space. And one thing, and with like the traversal between with like the gummy ship and stuff, we do know that it's like I'm trying to think of the best way to
pocket dimension. Like various
basically pocket dimensions, but they don't you can't simply fly to them. You have to have specific things like the gummy ship to be able to traverse them. But they are their own separate worlds. Like little, we'll go with pocket dimensions. I think that's the best way to go about that. And the fact that I still have not found my place is irritating me. But I can pull up the image while I try and find the exact number that I was looking at. If we could pull up Keyblade beam. So,
Oh.
so every
This
single
one.
dot on there is a different star, meaning a different world.
Okay.
And within, I believe it was. I'm trying to find my spot so I can. Oh, did I find it? Let's go. Okay.
Yay.
Was able to. Sora shoots a Keyblade beam that reaches multiple stars and credits off throughout all of them in approximately, I believe it was 7 seconds. With every single individual dot is around, and I believe it was 12,000 stars that we see just here. Whether or not it expands beyond the known ones here, I'm not going to sit here and argue that because it's entirely guess. It's entirely a guess if it reached every single one outside of our vision here. But within those 7 seconds, the beam going across all of those is 221 billion times faster than light.
Oh.
And this is Sora is able to use these beams throughout the series, and characters like Xehanort and such are able to keep up, which Sora definitely, at least partially, scales to Xehanort.
All right. Fair enough.
Do you want to go into speed before we go into power stuff, or do you want me to just keep going?
I think I'll go into speed just because it's technically simpler.
Okay.
Because I finding lower end stuff seemed like really weirdly hard.
Yeah.
Just because of how MLP is. So I guess we'll just jump right into the deep end. And could we get immeasurable speed Discord?
Might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
Son of a bitch!
This might be a good
if only I could still do a Donald. I can't. I used to be able to do a Donald impression. I can't no more.
I believe most of us know what this scan is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Thor meme.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, in essence, Discord went from the Horsehead Nebula to here in basically what can be presumed to be negative days. And so, that's immeasurable because he did it with speed. As he says, flew too fast, went back in time.
Fair enough.
Also, to my knowledge, this is the highest form of immeasurable speed.
Sorry.
I was going to say, to my knowledge, the way that infinite speed stuff goes is infinite distance, crossing a space with 0 time, and then this, being able to go back and forth through time. Which, by the way, could we bring up universe crossing speed? So that little beam there is Cosmos. And she went from where she was, as she says, flinging herself through the stars, and she ends up in Discord's little place. Now, presuming that this is her crossing from whatever realm she is from, this could possibly imply that she is crossing through universal boundaries. Now, this is important because it is established that between all universes, limbo exists. And that will perfectly segue into Limbo 1. It's a little, the screenshot, I will admit, is a little scuffed, but
I gotta say, it is wild seeing arguments I used in Rainbow Dash versus Sonic coming to bite me right now.
anyways, so as Twilight is saying here, that's it. You know, the thing about Limbo is that it's not one place or another, it's in between. So time stands still. So, with Cosmos being able to cross that, even though it's technically slower than what Discord did, does provide a level of consistency for that kind of speed. And the characters of which I have multiple things of them reacting to Discord or Grogar. As an example, can we get Discord Bell Absorb 1? Oh, wait, I labeled them wrong. Whoops.
My Discord.
He's just taking them out. Don't worry about it.
It doesn't matter. We don't need two then. Basically, this is the scene directly following when Chrysalis had... Oh,
I pull it up still.
yes. So, basically, Grogar walks in with an amulet that he grabbed because he thought that the group had failed. But instead... you know, he gets caught off guard by Chrysalis, who shoots this little gunk that keeps him stuck. And then, you know, Cozy Glow destroys the amulet. That's not a whole lot. But they do catch him off guard and are able to do this, which is significant for reasons stated prior.
Okay. Two things.
Yes.
One, Grogar's Discord. Why the hell didn't he use chaos magic to get out? What is that goop that it stopped his chaos magic?
It must be really strong.
Second, an argument I wasn't expecting to bring up, but because of this, I feel the need to. That is the ocean between. Well, I'm sorry. The realm of light, the realm between, and the ocean between. You know, that whole thing.
Okay.
It is an infinite 5D structure, in which Aqua was able to, by just moving through it, find the furthest area of it in a finite time frame.
All right.
Which is an infinite speed feat.
A lower end one, but yes, it is indeed infinite speed.
And Aqua, as cool as she is, because of, you know, its power creep by the main character and the main villain, becomes, you know, less cool by way of Sora gets stupid. It is the bane of ever being a side character. You will always be pushed to the side even further. But I had no plans of bringing that up because I was like, you know what? No, there's no way that we're gonna forgetting about the Cosmo stuff and the Horsehead Nebula feat. I was like, there's no way I got to worry about immeasurable speed, so I cannot bring that stuff up. It's not important here. And nope.
Yeah, it's not important. There's no way it'll need to be brought up.
All right. So I guess we're pretty even there.
To a degree, technically speaking, to my knowledge, mine is faster, but infinite. For some people, infinite is infinite.
Infinite is infinite.
But what kind of infinite?
Yeah, that's
the one that got killed by a thwomp.
yeah.
All right. Are we wanting to move to more power stuff?
Yeah, let's go to power.
Yeah, let's move on to more powers now. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start this one, or do you want me to continue for going first?
We'll just continue with the pattern that we have. You'll go first.
All right, that's cool with me. So there's a decent amount throughout. Like I brought up earlier how they have a laundry list of different magics. But I think one of the bigger ones that I'd like to bring up is scaling to Xehanort. So Xehanort is
bald bastard.
he is an old bald bastard. So Xehanort, he is the big bad of Kingdom Hearts, essentially. And his whole goal, is to basically get rid of everything and then rebuild it in perfect balance of light and dark, as he puts it. And when I say get rid of, I mean basically delete the multiverse with the power of the
X-Blade. Multiverse?
It's one of those things kind of with like the different worlds of it kind of depends on interpretation, because they're never going to straight up say, they might in Kingdom Hearts 4, who knows, multiverse has become such a regular term for people, they might just straight up say it.
One of the worst things about
go ahead.
One of the worst things about Kingdom Hearts is that a lot of the stuff we are asking is probably answered in the ultimatas, which are only in Japanese and there aren't any English translations
because they hate us.
Yeah, so the reason I was clarifying is if it was literal multiverse versus the collection of stars or something, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
The collection of star realms, which we can assume are at least galaxy size, given they have multiple stars.
Yeah. But yeah, no, given how the different worlds work and how they're all these separate different little pocket dimensions that are also potentially their own universes, again, it's kind of
potentially, of course.
It's iffy a little bit there, but yeah, no, he basically is planning to get rid of blot out the Kingdom Hearts multiverse and rebuild it with do all of this with the X-Blade, which we have seen multiple characters defend against and fight against Xehanort with the X-Blade. But did Santi just put in the chat, the Ultimas actually confirmed that Sora is infinitely stronger than Twilight Sparkle. Thank you, Santi.
That would be kind of funny if that was just like outright a statement.
That'd be so funny. Has nothing to do with Disney. Just like, this random character, Sora is so much better than anyway. But anyway, so that's kind of where Xehanort's at power wise, but that's not that's just kind of the first part of that. So we do see throughout that we are able to fight against, match, and beat Xehanort. But one of the big things is Terranort, which anyone who was around for Kingdom Hearts 3 when it got announced, was in the fandom. Aqua got Norted and Terra got Norted are super stupid. But
I would like to debunk something real quick.
Okay.
So the Norted thing is the people have called it because when someone gets the yellow eyes.
Right.
It's not because of Xehanort's heart. It's because of the overwhelming amount of darkness that has consumed them.
No, yeah.
If they're Xehanort, they just get the pointy elf ears and the gray hair.
No, just I always loved the specifically the phrase "Aqua got Norted" because it sounds like you're saying something in another language. But anyway, so Terra, before anything, is one of the more powerful characters throughout Kingdom Hearts. One of the only characters to really be able to stand up to Xehanort and his might. And so we kind of got where that level of power is at. Could we bring up let me make sure I have the right file name. Zetaflare.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
So this is this is Terranort getting one shot by Donald using Zetaflare, which as I believe from my research, showed that Donald was the only character to use this until Bahamut did.
Ah.
No one else in Final Fantasy history has ever pulled off a Zeta flare until Donald Duck did in Kingdom Hearts 3, and then Bahamut did it in Final Fantasy 16. But this is the most powerful spell that we've seen in Final Fantasy, not just Kingdom Hearts, all of Final Fantasy.
Goddamn.
And
So what you're telling me is that the angry, funny Duck, who was also a member of the Navy, is stronger than over 80% of the Final Fantasy cast.
yes,
Cloud, who is he?
Donald Duck is the most powerful mage in Final Fantasy, and this is a move. So in this scene, Terranor is about to murder Kairi, and Sora runs and tries to protect her. And in that moment, we see Goofy rush in and fully deflect an attack from Terranor.
Okay.
Like he gets knocked back a little bit, but this is like a full meant to kill swing that Goofy just runs in and fucking bashes away. And then Donald just charges up Zeta Flare and just gets him. And it's like he is completely overwhelmed by this magic. Now it is a little up for debate whether or not he actually died because of how everything works. But what we do know is it defeated him, which I'm like, that's incredible. Like we know the level of power that Xehanort had. We talked about that a little bit. And this is Terranort, who is matching and sometimes surpassing Xehanort. And Donald is pulling out a move and just fucking getting him. So I think that's a pretty good PowerPoint.
I concur. That is pretty damn impressive for a duck.
Nothing will ever be funnier to me than, like, it was like such a cool moment when I played that, but then it was immediately backtracked in my mind as Donald Duck just did that, and I had to pause the game and laugh for about 5 minutes. So nothing will ever do that for me. Nothing.
I could only imagine. Well, I guess. Do you got anything else for this?
Nothing now.
Okay, because this is about to get crazy, but I'm going to start off small. Can we bring up Tirek versus Twilight? One, obviously. I apologize. I didn't clarify.
Brings up image.
Bring up 6.
brings up image 50 instead.
Yes.
Bring out the Hypnotoad.
Okay, so we're going to sit on this for a minute because this is Twilight with all of the Alicorn's magic. And as you had agreed to, this is the version of Tirek we're using.
Yes, and will I regret it? Who knows?
Okay. Arguably, it probably wouldn't have mattered much, but, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But this blast from Twilight is with her with all of the Alicorn's magic combined, which at bare minimum includes Celestia, who, despite her reputation, is actually decently strong because she can move the sun to a point to where the kinetic energy from doing that would destroy the solar system, which obviously is like nothing compared to what you've brought up, but I just wanted to bring it up because that's kind of funny.
It is.
And in this scene in particular, as the blast is going through, Tirek's shield actually ends up going down and he takes the full brunt of it and is able to just kind of stand there after as if nothing happened.
This
again-
was the most Dragon Ball fight ever, and I loved it.
Dude, for real. And I guess we can bring up 2 just for sake of using the things that I gathered. In which their blasts equate in the middle. Which means at this point, Tirek is equal to all of the alicorns put together. Now, this is where shit gets crazy. So, I gotta decide where I'm going to start. We're going to start with... Okay, I guess we'll start with Multiverse Crossing Pony of Shadows 1. It's a mouthful, I know. This is the Pony of Shadows. He is currently in the memory of Stygian. As of this right here.
Okay.
He is trying to go after Celestia and Luna in order to, as he says, bring out their capacity for destruction. And if we bring up 2... the second one of this, in case if I'm not clear. I hoped to bring the same shadow and destruction to every world I brought to this one. I wouldn't stop until I had such a weapon. Initially, when I had seen this, I was like, oh, he's just able to cross along like all the dimensional boundaries, and this could be a speed thing. No. Instead, this is him confirming that he could just go to other worlds and be able to do this to their Celestias and Lunas if he really wanted to, and has the potential to bring that darkness to the, this will segue, infinite universes. We'll bring up 1. Here, Twilight is discussing like the possibility therein of multiple universes. In fact, hold on, let me see. Yeah, there could be more alternate universes. There's an infinite number of possible selves, yada, yada, yada. Now, this is obviously just speculation. But if we go into infinite universes too,
I don't like seeing the Flim Flam Brothers with fairness.
that's fair. We have Star Swirl outright confirming there are an infinite number of worlds.
Damn you,
And he is possibly the most skilled sorcerer in all of Equestria. And he would know this kind of stuff. We are not going to bring up 3 because it was just like backing evidence to make sure like it was good and it's from the manga, and I don't know if we messed with that or not. So instead, we're going to bring up Star Swirl matching Pony of Shadows. As previously mentioned, Star Swirl was able to... Oh. Anyways, sorry. As previously mentioned, the Pony of Shadows had the capacity to be able to take over the multiverse. And here we have Star Swirl being able to match him. But also what's more important is that he's able to overpower Celestia and Luna. Now this is significant. Okay. I guess to add credence to an argument I'll be making in a moment, can you bring up Spanish Void?
You are going to Spain.
So the reason it's called Spanish Void is because when I was looking around for this scan in particular, It only had the Spanish for the one line of dialogue that is here. And this is confirming limbo being in between everything and even having stars within it. Now, I can and will make the possible argument that this would transcend the main cosmology of MLP, dimensionally, to where it's at least, I don't know dimensional tiers, but it would be above the main cosmology, which has infinite universes, as it is the space in between them. Now, this, okay. This is where things get crazier, because we're going to go to Dream 1. This is basically this creature. I don't know what they are. I didn't look too far into it, but in essence, confirming how dreams work. I forget exactly the words, but something along the lines of it's made of their memories, their past, their experiences, things like that. And as confirmed with the Pony of Shadows, they can physically interact, and things that they do can be able to affect the real world, which is also backed up in Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep with the Tantabus that was going to break out and cause a lot of mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we go to Dream 2, this shows her having the capacity to affect all of the dreams of everyone in Equestria. And now we go to 3. Celestia just undoes this. Oh, I'm sorry, Allheart. Anyways, so this shows that Celestia somewhat casually could undo the changes to the dreams. Now, you might be asking, why am I bringing up changing things dreams? That's where we get into, the name of it is Infinite Hallways 1.
Why is everything got to be fucking infinite?
Because, ponies. So, this is the hallways. Also, this is confirming that Discord does indeed have a dreamscape, meaning that dreamscapes, in order to contain the dreams of someone like Discord, must be able to contain the cosmology. But even if that weren't the case, we have these lovely doors. Now, if we can go to Infinite Hallways 2.
Why was Luna in a trench coat?
It's probably a reference that I don't get.
Probably.
So these doors all represent the possible choices anyone can make. Now, in order for it to contain someone like Discord, you can bring up 3 if you want. It doesn't really matter for what I'm saying. In order for it to contain the choices that Discord is able to make, due to the fact of the things that he is able to do, it must be able to contain the cosmology of MLP within these doors. And there are infinite of these doors, which would all have infinite universes.
I see.
And since every pony has this hallway, as confirmed in the first image where Luna says a hallway, there's always a hallway. This is infinities upon infinities upon infinities above the cosmology in which these creatures exist.
Okay, here's my question. Maybe I misunderstood something a little bit. So everyone has a hallway. Everyone has a hallway in their mind, eventually,
Correct.
essentially, that has every choice.
Correct.
Maybe I misheard you. Isn't Discord's, because of his chaos magic, exceptionally big, and that's the reason that it's so infinite, and not everyone has that?
From what I saw with the scans, there's nothing confirming that Discord's is any bigger.
Okay.
Because Luna is very casual about it. And so if something were amiss with it, she would probably point it out. Because she is the one that goes into the dreams, after all.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so this is significant, to say the least, when it comes to the power that these have, because can I get where is it? Which one is it called? I guess we can go Tirek Solo's Pillars.
I really hope this is him just punching a pillar and nothing more. Like a super low end feat, but just something you feel like bringing up anyway.
It's the pillars of the multiverse.
It's the pillars from the 3 Ruby episodes of Death Battle.
It's the Pillars of Old Equestria, which, as we confirmed, Starswell can somewhat compare to the Pony of Shadows, who can compare to Luna and Celestia. And anyway, Starswell is like narratively implied to be decently on par with the princesses anyhow. And Tirek was able to kind of casually just smack them around and absorb their magic.
Who needs?
And if we can bring up, what did I call it? I think it's like Chrysalis versus Celestia TLDR.
Yeah, pretty much. That's almost exactly how the fight went.
Yeah. This is too funny not to include, but it's also just accurate because Chrysalis was able to, after some effort, overpower Celestia, who, as we established, is able to do all this dream stuff. So, yeah, that's gonna be rough to try to get past. And then, we might as well show it. Can we have a bye-bye castle?
Again, I really hope this is a low-end feat that you just throw in at the end of this.
It is.
Funnies. Oh, it is.
It
Cool.
is.
Let's go.
Yeah, because it's them just blessing the shit out of the castle.
You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, so this is just them like showing, holy hell, they can just do this if they put their stuff together.
Yeah.
But I think I may have one thing that you may not have considered, Allheart.
I swear.
Please bring up Book Chain Break Cozy.
No. You aren't.
Oh.
Breaks the chains that are holding this book with a key on it. That is all.
I love comedy. I love it so much.
What do you have to say for this? What do you got that compares to this, Allheart?
I have the fact that Sora is best friends with Winnie the Pooh.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn close. I'll give it. I'll accept the tie on that.
So I will throw out that that is a lot of infinites. I mean, yeah.
It is.
But like the cosmology of Kingdom Hearts is very much up to interpretation on the words that are used and such. However, but it kind of ranges from multiverse to complex multiversal. So I don't think that there's some massive gap. As a multiverse insinuates, in basically an infinite span of universes, and with a complex multiverse, it's it gets a little wild, but I don't think that it's some massive power gap. Or at the very least, it's a good bit smaller than infinite than so many infinites may make it seem.
Fair enough. That's probably fair.
I'm also seeing. I'm sorry. I just wanted to point this out in chat. Sora needs a Keyblade. Cozy Glow just needs a book.
I just saw
Damn it.
that.
I lose. I lose right there. Fuck.
Damn.
Good game. Anyway,
GG. Yeah, but yeah. So from what you have presented, assuming highest arguments, given these pocket dimensions are universes, and we're going to highball and say there are infinite of these universes. That would mean soloing the Kingdom Hearts cosmology, assuming that indeed the oceans between, or whatever you're calling it, is above that cosmology, is lower than what I have presented, but perhaps not so much to where it's like bad.
Yeah.
Because as I've stated, every door contains the MLP cosmology.
Right.
And there are infinite of those, in which those, in essence, would somewhat equate to what you have presented for the Kingdom Hearts cosmology.
Yeah.
So,
hold on.
It's definitely debatable.
Yeah.
It's debatable for what goes where, but from what is said, I think I am higher.
One thing that I do want to touch on is away from direct feats and such, is the skills that we have.
Yes.
So, and here's gonna be, because I know Chrysalis is like 1,000 years old or something like that.
Most characters in MLP are that aren't
Right,
children,
yeah.
or the main six.
Yeah, Tirek and Chrysalis are both over 1,000 years old. Here's my argument, however. Tirek spent a very long amount of that time in prison, sitting in essentially hell. Chrysalis spent a lot of it in hiding, not really doing anything. And Cozy Glow is a fucking child. Comparatively, we have Sora, Donald, and Goofy, who have been fighting I don't think we know exactly how long Donald and Goofy have been training to fight, but we know that they were warriors before the whole stuff of Kingdom Hearts started.
Well, I would like to point out that they gave Mickey's canonical actual Mickey's age in his death battle, which is 95 plus.
Right.
So you could just say that they're like in their 90s.
That's probably it's basically probably the best way to think about it. But so we'll say making a generous assumption, just because we'll say that they've got about 70 years of fighting experience, assuming maybe they started in like their 20s or something like that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not since they were a fetus.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, they came out, they were born and immediately started fucking up. No.
I would believe that, though.
I kind of would for Mickey. I don't know about Donald and Goofy.
Donald would be fucking some shit up as a kid.
No, Donald definitely would. But they have been fighting and training for a long time, and they've been messing up not only the Heartless and beings like I said his name like 70 times already. Xehanort, Jesus Christ. But they've also gone through and defeated all sorts of different wacky Disney villains like Maleficent, Genie Jafar, Oogie Boogie. Like, they've fought any and everyone that has gotten in their way, and they've taken them down. Also, there's something I forgot to bring up earlier when we were talking about powers, and I feel super dumb about it now. Sora can just time stop.
Funny you mentioned that. I have something to
God
bring
damn
up.
it!
I have something that I brought up as a maybe to bring up. Can we please bring up Discord I can't speak. Discord time stop. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. So here we see that Discord appears and, things are stopped and he crosses off the things. And since Tirek, as we have established, has Discord's magic because this is season 4 Tirek, he could potentially be able to do the same thing. Now, of course, this is debatable because we don't know if Tirek inherits the abilities of what he absorbs, although there is confirmation that he can use telekinesis.
Yeah. Do we ever see? Because I don't think after he absorbs Discord, he ever uses any real form of chaos magic.
So debatably, he uses the thing that Discord has where he's able to detect magical imbalances, and that's how he found Twilight. Debatably. It's not confirmed, but we could infer. And additionally, he wasn't able to teleport things before then, and suddenly he's able to bring the main 6 in Discord and Bubbles.
Yeah. I do want to put in chat someone. I didn't mean to misspeak on this, but I kind of did. Time stop doesn't stop everyone's time. It stops a character in time for a few seconds.
Oh.
So it's not like everything around goes still. You can target. But yeah,
So-
no, that's a pretty big deal.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think Cozy Glow's inexperience also is such because she definitely is smart and she has.
Cozy Go. Wait, what is it? What is the image? Sorry, I was trying to be subtle about it. What is it? Oh, Twilight gets bodied 1.
I feel like I remember what this is. But I'm afraid. Oh yeah,
You're able to catch Twilight off guard, and if you show 2, knock her out. and Sunbutt and Moonbutt Bell.
Is that the Family Guy stock pose?
I don't know, man.
Almost.
Is able to react to and catch the beams from Celestia and Luna, who are thousands of years old.
It is weird how it's one of those. I don't know why MLP does this, because Celestia and Luna are so cool, but within the show, they are some of the most useless characters ever. And I love them, so much, but they get bodied by everyone.
I love the season 9 line where it's like, we may not have our magic, but we're not completely useless. Meanwhile, the show.
It's yeah, you go ahead and tell yourself that. I definitely still think that there is something with because Celestia and Luna in Twilight, they're powerful and they know what they're doing. They're not warriors. Not in the way of Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Especially Celestia and Luna, they definitely know how to fight, but they are much more diplomats than fighters. Comparatively to Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
I will say, given the main 6, they have faced a lot of world-ending threats and have had to come out on top. Particularly, I'd like to also point out that Twilight, while adjusting to her Alicorn magic, was able to pretty much match Tirek.
Yeah, that was cool. That I will say right now those 2 episodes might be my favorite episodes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's amazing.
But that is something that seemingly comes. Twilight is, as we know, incredibly intelligent. And she spends the entire episode leading up to this fight doing everything she can to master it. And we do see her getting it before the fight.
Right.
So it's something that I don't think it's like, oh my God, Cozy Glow is like such a detriment in this fight.
Yeah, she is. As shown with what the main six do after that, she can get a little caught off guard, but she's got her parents to bail her out.
There is also the idea of they definitely, while they did eventually start working together better, because Tirek, Cozy Glow, and Chrysalis did not
they did not get along.
They did not get
frenemies.
But they eventually figured out that they at very least didn't mind each other, and they could work together. But they didn't do that for all that long. Sora, Donald, and Goofy have been fighting together for a long time. They know each other. They know how to fight as a team. Whereas Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tirek figured out how to work as a team, and it wasn't long after that they got defeated.
Yeah, but that's fair. But in all fairness, they also got ganged up by the entirety of Equestria.
This is true. But at that point, that shouldn't have meant much, considering how much power they had.
Well, there was an army of changelings as well, which would just confuse them.
But
either way, I get what you're saying. I will say there is one thing I forgot to bring up when it comes to Arsenal, and that is the pieces from Chrysalis's throne as a last-ditch effort if things needed to get there.
I don't know what is off the top of my head.
So in the season 9 finale, when they are, capturing everyone, they made a little room with pieces from Chrysalis's throne. This is from the Hive, in which it canceled out all magic but changeling magic. Now,
I think I remember that, yeah.
Now, here is the thing with that. They do state that even their power is canceled out by it, but we have confirmation that Chrysalis is able to do Chrysalis things while in the Hive.
Right.
So at the very least, she has her stuff, while her teammates have presumably nothing. Which at the very least means she has her Celestia stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So as a last-ditch effort, she could just disable the magic for everyone.
Is that something that she can just do, or would she have to get them to that spot?
They could hold pieces of it. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So this is something that I thought of. They could be able to throw the crystals onto one of them and then do Chrysalis's weird sticky spit. I don't know if it's something they would do in character, but it is a distinct possibility.
It is a possibility.
Given how presumably strong it is, given Grogar couldn't break out of it.
Yeah. I do wonder if they'd be able to pull it off.
They are rather intelligent.
They are. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I brought 5 images to confirm T-Rex intelligence.
Yeah, before we do
T-Rex
that,
Smart 1. This actually comes from Frenemies. This is him, Cozy Glow comes back, freezing. And he's, not surprised that they didn't make it up. If we go to the second one. Cozy Glow's being a smartass. Next. He didn't try to. And if we go to the next one. It took him about 5 minutes to deduce. Next.
I feel like I'm watching an episode.
None of us could make it up alone. Which this was all confirmed by him throwing dirt to the wind and realizing it pushed him back. That was the 5 minutes of deduction he did. And then he started setting up camp.
All right.
can be able to understand when something is like a miss because he's just underestimatedly smart when it comes to, understanding what's going on.
I will say the magic thing could be really, but there's also potential for, let's say they throw the rock and then Sora just fucking parries it.
But then they could just break it because Tirek, it's confirmed that a blast from Tirek can destroy it.
Right. But the main thing is that outside of Donald, really, neither of them really, neither Goofy or Sora rely on magic for like Sora. Like, let's say that we're in a spot where they're using the stone and it's stopping all their magic except Chrysalis,
right?
Because Chrysalis is a changeling. In that scenario, Sora now just like he's just as strong. He just can't shoot fire.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But Sora definitely, it depends on how you play. Obviously, you can choose to focus on magic or defense, whatever. But throughout the games, Sora has proved that, like many characters like Jetstream Sam and Bayonetta, his power comes from juicing. But that's is a lot of his most of Sora's strength doesn't come from magic. It is what's the word? Accentuated? Is that a word?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By magic. I'll use that. Thinking I'm using it right. So I do think that is. I do think that would definitely, at the very least, temporarily debilitate Donald. But given Sora and Goofy's defensive stuff, they could very easily buy time to get it off of Donald, or try and get Donald out of that situation somehow.
Fair enough.
Here, one thing that I'm curious about. So does it? So the throne pieces, do they disable magic or do they like drain magic?
Disable, like completely.
Okay,
like
so
Discord couldn't be able to do things when he was like within like a mile of the throne of the hive.
I do remember that episode now. Okay.
Yep, so wearing back again.
Okay. So, all right, now I'm thinking about this. So let's say, hypothetically, again, this scenario, everyone except Chrysalis is having their magic disabled. Except I'm going to say for some reason, Tirek isn't. Could Tirek still take the disabled magic?
There would be no reason he couldn't.
I would think
because the magic is still there.
Yeah, it's just essentially dormant. Okay.
Yeah, it's been turned off.
I don't know why in this scenario T-Rex immune.
But hypothetically, if he was, would he be able to? It's just turned off. It's not drained. That would be what Cozy Glow did with her artifacts, which she wouldn't have anymore.
I would also like to throw out someone brought up in chat, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring it up, but you know what? At this point, why not? With the drive forms and the amusement rides,
amusement rides
from Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora just kind of, this is not magic, he just kind of does this. Forms amusement park rides from Disney World and Disneyland, and is able to use them to attack people.
Cool.
I guess. This is something that I wish was clarified in Kingdom Hearts 3. What the hell was the attraction flow? It just, I'm just like, I'm summoning the power of Disney World to kick your ass. Choo choo train, motherfucker.
Something about I summoned Disneyland. Something about I summoned Disneyland on the MLB characters is kind of funny.
They're for some reason they're on that level of power where they're actually effective against the big bads. whether or not they actually would hurt them, I'm going to go ahead and say they would at the very least be able to cause some damage. But that's not the point with this. The point with this
literally runs a train over Tetrick.
this
Tetrick.
I didn't know. I don't know how to say his name properly.
Tirek.
Tirek, sorry.
But this is all for confusion. You're fighting. This is already going to be weird to them because they've never seen a bipedal duck, a bipedal dog, and whatever the hell a human is. They don't know what that is. But whereas they like Sora and them, they've seen all this crazy stuff like Tirek, not exactly, but Tirek, Chrysalis, and Kozlo. This isn't too different to them. And then all of a sudden, there's just Splash Mountain in front of you.
Use them for a second. I will say, I think both sides have ways of BFR, right?
Yes, I do believe so.
Yeah, because Tirek can open a portal to Tartarus. Chrysalis was able to.
That's right, he can. I forgot he did that.
Yep. Which was able to contain the main 6. I don't know if it drained their magic or not, but it was able to contain them. Along with Chrysalis being able to teleport Twilight under the castle. And then Cozy Glow also has this, where she teleported the guards. Although it was only to outside the castle, so we don't know her range. Yeah. But either way, everyone has BFR. Everyone just ends up being sent everywhere.
No one wins. Everyone's sent to different dimensions. Have fun, Chuckle Nuts.
And then everybody turns everything into Disneyland regardless of whether they're in hell or the throne room.
I'm sorry. I love the image of, like, they banish them to Tartarus. They, like, wait there for a second because they're like, okay, are they going to break out? They look in and it's just Disneyland.
No. I'm just imagining Sora pointing the Keyblade while they are riding the Big of Thunder mountain ride and just plowing through all 3 of them.
Moloch just said the greatest thing in chat. Would they be transformed by the world magic and all be ponies?
I would love that so much.
It would be so cool, but also for the sake of the fight, I would say no.
Yeah, no. So the way that I think of it, it would be in character for either of them to go to either world. More so for the Kingdom Hearts guys.
Yeah.
But I could see a reason that Tirek and them go because the Pony of Shadows thought of that. Like, this could be like a where they win, but they don't get like everyone's magic because reasons.
Yeah.
And so they end up going there. But we could just say like they wouldn't be transformed. But even so, they're used to being transformed.
Right. It's so funny to me to think like they just having them in the My Little Pony style would be so much fun.
Yes, but if they are transformed, we have to question: will any of them become unicorns? Because then they have horns, and then Tirek can immediately take them.
Well, they don't need a horn to be absorbed. Medium.
Yeah.
The bet.
Oh, that's fucking good.
Right.
They made
Donald was pissed, so that's normal.
Goofy's one of the mind dogs.
Like a troglodyte style.
Goofy's one of the mind dogs.
He's a diamond dog. Wait, no, he has wings though.
No, I think those are like this, like the little back spike things, or maybe he's a Pegasus. He kind of looks like a diamond dog.
He does look somewhat like a diamond dog, and I think that's kind of cool.
In my opinion, I love troglodyte Sora, where he's holding the Keyblade from the middle and not from the hand.
I know, I love that. This may be one of my favorite images ever. Now, can this be sent to me, please?
Dude, I love this.
So do we want to do final arguments now? Is that
we've been live for almost over 2 hours.
I'd like to bring up one more thing.
That's fine.
And it's for the lulz. Can we have Mad Enough to Melt?
Ooh.
I thought you were about to say Madden.
Madden. Yes.
EA.
E.
I just thought it was kind of funny that she can get so mad that she can melt snow. Like, she was just getting pissed off at this dude with a rusty bucket, who I think his name is literally just Rusty Bucket, because he's just like, no, you can't go up. And she tried to like manipulate him and make him his friend to let him go up, but then she got like friend blocked by the book of friendship that everyone published. And so she just like became stubborn. And then she like walks away and then pulls up with Tirek and Chrysalis and causes an avalanche on the guy's home. And I just think that is the best interaction ever. She's so petty that she went back to him just to make his house get covered.
All right. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, who is the one who changed me?
Probably our God and Savior Sherm.
What do you mean
I
changed
see.
it? What do you mean?
Because they changed it to confirm to be higher.
Wait. Yours before it was pitcher, wasn't it?
It was exists in parentheses pitcher.
I like mine. I am pretty goofy.
Yeah, so that was very clever. I couldn't think of
Okay.
anything clever.
I
Let's
like
do-
Rand's, the mold in the walls. Anyway,
Yep.
we gotta do final
Okay,
argument.
final
All right,
argument.
let's final arguments.
All right.
Go.
I will go first. This was an incredibly fun debate. However, I do believe that the gaps in power and speed and all of that are kind of nebulous at this point. Any gaps can seemingly can be closed with absorption, new forms, and different amplifiers across both series. So I think it comes down to the fact that Sora, Donald, and Goofy, they have been doing this as a team a lot longer than Tirek, Cozy Glow, and Chrysalis. And with the incredible array of magic that seemingly is more versatile than anything we've seen from them, with time stopping and all these different other forms of defensive and offensive magics that Tirek from what I've found cannot absorb because they are not magic based. I do believe with their skill, equipment, and massive amount of magical stuff, that they would be this would be a close fight, but I do think that they would be able to take the win here. Also, power of goodness.
Fair enough. As far as what I go, I have my arguments.
Just a
for
quick
them
little
being-
reminder for everyone: the poll is up in chat right now.
No,
Thank you,
God, God, is that you?
God.
Anyways, so as far as with my group, while they may not get along all the time, they got along well enough to be able to go further than most villains have. They have the ability to steal magic and life force from beings, and the bell can be able to do that for anyone. So it's not just Tirek being able to do that. Tirek is able to Chrysalis can be able to confuse with her transformations. Cozy Glow could possibly be able to manipulate them somehow. I think it would just be like a joke. But overall, they have the strength, they have the speed, they have a way to disable their magic. And when it comes down to stats, if it's relatively equal, we have a giant centaur versus a duck, a dog, and a boy, and a shape-shifting love sucker, and a literal child.
All right.
Okay, Comet, you want to go first?
Oh, well, this is difficult. More difficult than I was expecting. It's quite close, actually. I guess if I'd have to go for one group, I had to go for the Kingdom Hearts group, because I feel like the only reliable way the pony group would win is if they BFR'd everyone and then one by one made sure to actually drain their magic, like, individually. Because I think if they went after all three, they're just going to have enough teamwork that one of them might die, but the other two will get round.
Where'd he go?
Where did he go?
Just disappeared.
He's gone.
Oh my
He
god!
voted for me and died.
Oh no!
You
What
voted for
happened?
you and fucking died.
Yeah,
He's back.
I'm back. I don't know why.
He got BFR'd for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know why. It just decided to close me out for some reason because, yeah. But yeah, like, whatever I was saying, yeah, I feel like their best chance is to BFR everybody and then one by one go through them. And I don't know if they'd immediately think to do that because they are, from my knowledge, a little overconfident in themselves usually. Whereas Sora, Donald, and Goofy, one of them will probably die, but the other two will still be able to get around it at least.
Goofy dies
Wow.
again.
Yes.
Again.
Mhm. As is tradition.
As is tradition. Okay. So, this is difficult for me. I am going to go with, even though they are my boys, I'm gonna have to go with the My Little Pony villains because of just shutting down their magic. The BFR is kind of nebulous, but like it could give them some time to prepare on either side. But it's mainly just the turning off the magic or just stealing the magic for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right.
Donald is 100% dying first. He always does in my first playthrough.
It's bound to happen. It feels almost like a rite of passage to have to do that at least once.
And the poll is over, and it looks like the Kingdom Hearts team wins.
Let's go, dude. Lockdown. That was really fucking good, though. I gotta say.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, GGs.
That might be. So far I've done 3 debates against 3 separate people, which that's been one of my favorite things is that I have debated Rand, Sherm, and Steven before this, and all of those were incredibly fun. I think this might be just because I think of the context of who the characters are. This might be my favorite cast I've done. This was so much fun.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to have made that happen for you.
This has kind of convinced me of this matchup. I'm on board now.
Yeah. The dynamic would be fun.
It would be so much
Yeah.
fun. Oh, I think this is the only one I've done where I'm coming out of it not confident in a winner.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel somewhat the same way. It's definitely really close.
Mhm.
And the way that the fight would work, it really can go either way.
So yeah, do you want to take a moment and kind of pitch your matchup again?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's a fight that seems in character for both. It's a fight against the good guys or a fight against the bad guys for the Kingdom Hearts guys. They're a trio, and their whole deal is that they work together in order to overcome their obstacles, whether it's defeating a group of ponies or defeating every Disney villain.
Yeah.
And beyond that, the characters themselves don't necessarily play off of each other personality-wise. I will have to say the interaction between Donald and Cozy Glow would be kind of fun to watch.
Oh, that would be. She is like the ultimate gaslighter, and he is so rage-filled.
Yeah, or the interaction between Cozy Glow and Donald, or not Donald, fucking Goofy, because she tries to manipulate him, and he's just like, He just kind of stands there.
It's like,
Goofy.
Yeah.
Goofy becomes dad. Goofy goes dad mode.
I'm just, if anyone could
Yeah.
do it, it's Goofy.
Although
When-
there was something I had brought up when I was making the pitch that I thought would be kind of funny. Don't know if it would actually happen. But an interaction in which Chrysalis either becomes like Daisy or Clarabelle and tries to like go after them, and then like one or the other like realizes, oh, this is a trick, and like tries to stop them.
Mhm.
It would probably Donald, because Donald knows how Daisy acts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a funny idea when you brought up melting the snow just through like anger. And it came into my head that between Donald and Cozy Glow, she probably pissed him off enough to launch his big Baphomet attack or whatever.
Oh, he.
And
Zainab?
Yeah.
Like,
And,
I can fully see
yeah.
that.
He would fully launch it, but if by random chance, because of My Little Pony scaling, she could get angry enough to be hot enough to just resist that. And so they're absolutely angry at each other.
Goofy is unironically the most intelligent one out of this trio.
He is.
Yeah. So regarding
was-
what
Goofy was able to see through Mulan's pink disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Instantly.
Yeah, so from my understanding of what was just at the bottom of the screen, it's more so he's super perceptive and not necessarily an ability. But even if it was, then that just means like Chrysalis trying to do anything, he would just instantly shut it down.
Like, hey, knock it off. I know you're not her. I know you're not Clarabelle.
Although I don't know if Clarabelle exists in Kingdom Hearts.
She does.
Okay.
It would never happen because it can't happen because it's not Disney. I would kill for an MLP world in Kingdom Hearts 4. I
That
think
would be
it would
kinda
go
cool.
so hard.
But it's owned by Hasbro.
Also, the problem is
Hasbro
that FIM ended a long time ago, and I don't
I
know
don't
how I
care.
feel about Kingdom Hearts going against Opaline.
Here's
It's kind of an idiot.
I will say that I think there might be doing some backtracking to Gen 4.
I've heard that, yes.
Yeah, I remember
Gen 5 was apparently kind of a flop.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to use AI voice actors.
Oh.
I've heard some rumors. Again, they're just rumors. They may end up being nothing. That we could potentially be getting the final Equestria Girls movie and potentially some other short form stuff for Friendship is Magic. So because there was supposed to be a 5th Equestria Girls movie, but it got canned because they'd already moved on to Gen 5.
I see.
But they might be doing some backtracking to it. So they've already done with because they did a crossover with Magic the Gathering, and they did Friendship is Magic, not Gen 5.
I forgot that existed.
I have all the cards.
Nice.
So we could get something really cool with Friendship with Magic in the future. Probably not Kingdom Hearts. If that ever happened,
Right.
I think I'd just explode.
Yeah, I think I explode too. Just hearing MLB FIM X Kingdom Hearts 7 probably.
We are more likely to get the Predator or the Xenomorph in Kingdom Hearts than we are My Little Pony.
Here's my final thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 4, because I want to throw this out, is that I want a lot of things for this game, but the one I want the most is Star Wars. Not because I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm not. I'm kind of lukewarm on it. I want to hear Donald and Goofy telling Anakin not to go to the dark side after he just murdered a bunch of children.
Yeah.
That is what I want in Kingdom Hearts 4.
That's fair.
All right.
So, we done?
Great.
I'm sorry, I look down in chat and see Albedo. Hasbro makes Sunset Shimmer Universal and my wallet is yours.
I'm with this person. Great cast. I'm glad we did this.
Great cast, everyone.
Great
I'll be
cast.
back in a couple weeks.
Yippee.
Having the Emperor show up.
I'll be back when I'm unburnt out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. Having the Emperor show up if they did Star Wars crossover and trying to turn Donald into Duck Vader.
Duck Vader. That is good. I like
Mhm.
that.
I'll be back on stream in a couple weeks with Lord X versus Kara.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Thankfully for
Can't wait
that
for that
one,
one.
X doesn't have Word of God nerfing him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're ready to end this cast.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
See y'all. See y'all next
See
time.
ya.
Bye.
Normally someone says goodbye. Yes,
I
we're saying it now. Goodbye.
I think we did that at the start, Sherm.